Hey, how you doing today? It's Chris Cassidy with eXp Realty, and I'm reaching out to you today. It's been a while since I've uploaded a video, and I apologize for that. But we're right in the middle of the holidays, Christmas and New Year's, right in between. New Year's is Monday. Wanted to take a quick minute and talk about what's going on in the market and what to expect for the first quarter of 2024. But first, I just want to ask you to like and subscribe to my channel and like this video, and please leave a comment. Trying to grow the channel. It's very slow. It's starts and stops, but I'm trying to get it. I'm dedicating the first part of 2024 to really getting the channel off the ground. So let's get into it. What's going on with the market? So here's the deal. I've been a realtor for 28 years, since 1995. For probably the last 10 or 15 years, at least since the market crash, the rates have been held artificially low and kept going lower. So those of us in the industry knew that at some point, you can't keep the rates low forever. They have to come up because other financial sectors depend on higher interest rates. People can't make money in savings and things like that, and for a lot of other reasons. So the rates, we were told, were artificially low, so they needed to come up. For a long time, every year, near the end of the year, we would see in the news, the real estate press, that the rates were coming up, but they never would. And in fact, they even went down lower and lower, to the point where a couple of years ago, the rates were in the twos. And, which, thank God, is when we bought our house, when we sold our old house and bought the house we live in now. So we all knew this, that the rates were going to have to go up. Now, when the rates did finally come up, like October of 2022 was when they really jumped, I feel like there was a lot of unintended consequences, and it didn't go according to plan. First of all, the rates were about double from what they were, just a year before. More importantly, though, I think the thought was, and I'm not a politician, I'm not a member of the Fed, I don't control fiscal policy, obviously, but I think those who control fiscal policy in this country thought, well, we need to raise the rates. Now, if we do raise the rates, it's going to be tough for buyers, at least in the short term, which it could even be painful. But what that will do is that will drop demand, and when demand goes down, prices will either, the rate of increase will slow down significantly, or prices might even go the other way. At that point, everything will reach its own level. Inventory, housing inventory, the prices will drop. Buyers will slowly come back into the market. More sellers will jump into the market. Everything will find its own level, and we'll be back to a kind of a normal market in a short time, maybe 3 to 6 months. That didn't happen, not even close. And what did happen is we already had record low inventory. In the spring of 2022, inventory was at the lowest it had ever been recorded. And when the rates jumped, like last year, spring of 2023, inventory was half of what the record low was the year before. So now demand did drop with the higher interest rates. Unfortunately, a lot of buyers had to get out of the market, and they couldn't afford to keep going. And which is understandable, painful, all of that. But sellers also got out of the market, which I don't think was anticipated. It was an unintended consequence, I feel. And the reason why sellers got out is because a lot of sellers, maybe you own a house right now and you're thinking, geez, I just had another kid. We have a 3-bedroom house. Now we have 4 kids. It's getting crazy. The kids need their own rooms. I need more space because I work from home 3 days a week now since COVID. We don't have a home office. We need to buy a bigger house. The thing is, though, if they have a 3% interest rate, they're going to sell that house. The house is going to sell in a weekend still because there's no inventory. But now you might have a big chunk of equity even when you sell, but now you're competing with the 100 other buyers for every house that comes on the market in the town you're looking in. So even if you have all this money, you're still competing. You're in a bloodbath on the buyer side. but you're going to pay a 7, at the time, like a 7.5%, even 8% interest rate. So sellers were like, you know what, I'll just stay put. Now the bad part is they were really stuck, because a lot of sellers probably thought, well, I'll just take out an equity line and I'll do an addition on my house. I need to move, but maybe I can make this house work. But equity lines were like over 8% for a while. And so people didn't want to take out an equity line and pay a crazy, not crazy, but a much higher interest rate than has been the norm for a long time, and do that. So people were really stuck. People on both sides were stuck, and it created this kind of gridlock. And if you had listings, that was the name of the game. I've been very fortunate. A lot of my listings recently have been people that didn't need to buy something else. It was they were selling a second home, or it was an estate sale, or something of that nature. They already had a place to go to. So I've been very fortunate, and I have actually probably 8 or 10 listings coming on in the first quarter of 2024 that fall into that category. So stay tuned. So anyway, the market was really tough all around. Demand dropped, but prices didn't. Prices are still going up. So now rates have been coming down. We're starting to see more activity. I listed a house in Methuen in the beginning of December, and for the first few weeks, there just wasn't any activity because it was Christmas, and I told the sellers that. Like, we're going to be kind of sitting for a couple of weeks. Now, all of a sudden, it's had like 6 or 7 showings in the last week, and I'm confident I'll probably be getting an offer this week based on feedback I've gotten. So things are getting better. Also, the rates have come down significantly. They were touching 8% earlier this year. They're down around 6.5%, maybe 6.25%, if you get a really good rate and you have awesome credit. So, and the Fed is forecasting 6 interest rate cuts next year. So what does this all mean? Well, a couple of things. A lot of people are saying, I'll wait till the rate hits 5%, then I'll go out and buy a house. That's great, but bear in mind that historically, around here at least, prices have been increasing 5 to 10% annually year over year. So the house that's $500,000 right now, this time next year, the rate might be down to 5% from 6.5%, but the house is going to be $25,000, $30,000 more, maybe $50,000 more. So any savings you realize on the interest rate side, you're going to lose because you're paying more for the house. Now, real estate is a hedge against inflation. If you buy the house now, and no one has a crystal ball, but from everything we're seeing, it looks like the people that said the rates will be coming down in the next year are being proven correct. As I said, they've come down like 1.5 points from the height. They're still projected to come down 6 more times. What that will translate to, nobody really knows. It depends on how big the cuts are, but as well as a lot of other factors. But if you buy the house now for $500,000 at 6.5, the rate goes down to 5. You can refinance next year when the rate hits 5. That 1.5 point drop, you're probably going to save $400 or $500 a month on your mortgage, and you locked the house in at today's price versus next year's price. You could be $25,000, $50,000 ahead on the sale price. So the advice would be to buy now, to not wait, to get out there now. Get your pre-approval. I have great mortgage people, a ton of mortgage people you can talk to. I got a couple of guys that are unbelievable. You talk to them, get a pre-approval. Inventory is starting to come up. We're already seeing it. Right after New Year's, the market typically, everyone talks about the spring market, but in my experience, usually right after New Year's, we see a big increase in market activity. So I'm looking at even next week, the week after, the market's going to start accelerating. You're going to see more listings on the market. You're going to see interest rates coming down. More buyers are going to be out there. More listings, but they're going to still get gobbled up quick because the supply and demand are not, in sync. So my advice to you, honest advice, is, get out there now. Let's get you pre-approved. Let's get your house ready. If you have a house to sell, let's get it ready to sell because you're going to get bidding wars, most likely. And let's get you out there, get you looking, get that new house in 2024. So that's my, observations about where things are going. Feel free to reach out to me. Again, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, but reach out to me. Give me a call. All my contact information will be in the description of this video. But let's get you out there this year. If you're renting, I've talked to a ton of tenants lately. Renting is insane. And I talk to people that are paying $3,000, $3,200, $3,500 a month for a 2-bedroom apartment in an Avalon complex. It's crazy. That's a lot of money. You could afford probably a $400,000 mortgage amount at that. So let's just get you out there. Let's get you out there looking. Let's get you into a home. Because, not only will you have the satisfaction of owning a property, buying into a piece of the American dream, you're going to build equity quickly if prices keep increasing. The other thing is you're going to have tax write-offs with being able to write off mortgage interest. One thing about the higher interest rates is it's more mortgage interest to write off, so that's actually a good thing. So you'll save money on your taxes. And if the sooner you get into a home, you could realize almost a year of savings if you buy a house in the first quarter of 2024. If $2,000 a month of your mortgage payment is interest, you take that $24,000 or $18,000 or whatever it ends up being per, over the course of the year, and apply that and realize significant tax savings. So of course, talk to a tax accountant. Don't take my advice. I am not an accountant. But let's get you out there. Let's get you out there, find you a home. I've got a great team. I've got loan officers, I've got attorneys, I've got appraisers, I've got home inspectors. Let's get you out there. Like and subscribe. And listen, my best wishes to you for a great 2024. Let's all just get out there, do our thing, and let's make it happen. I wish you all the best, and thank you so much.